This presentation is to help you write your fourth quarter CER summative assessment on mass and chemical energy. You only have to do this if you have not yet reached a grade of proficient in the first 3 quarters. Remember, when you write a CER, you want to make sure that you look over the material that's presented as well as the questions being asked. In this case, the question being asked is mass a factor in determining the amount of chemical energy that is converted when mixing aluminum foil and cupric chloride? The data being provided is sample data from the lab that we did in the class earlier this year. So we have some data here from experiment 1 using 0.5 grams of aluminum foil mixed with the 50 milliliters of cupric chloride solution, and we have our information provided. Experiment number 2 was using 0.8 grams of aluminum foil mixed in with another 50 milliliter solution of cupric chloride. And then our last one is 0.8 grams of steel wool being mixed in with the new solution of 50 milliliters of cupric chloride. If we look at our data and we look at our question here, our question is dealing with aluminum foil and cupric chloride. We should be able to eliminate one set of data very quickly and say it's not needed. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but we should be able to eliminate that one. As we work our way down through here, we should realize that we have 3 scientific principles that are available for our use in writing this CER summative assessment. You may not necessarily need to use all 3 scientific principles to do a quality job on the reasoning statement. So look them over and see if they compare to your data and look like they would be reasonable to use. When you write your claim, it should only be about a sentence or 2. Use the information in the claim box provided here to help you write your claim. Remember, you are only answering the question that's being asked of you, and think about the data that's being provided and the scientific principles that are being provided to you, and use that as you try to write your claim. So again, the question you're answering is mass a factor in determining the amount of chemical energy that is converted when mixing aluminum foil and cupric chloride? You'll write your claim in the box where it says write your claim here. And there's a little checklist provided for you so that way you can hopefully make sure you write a good claim and get the best grade possible. For the evidence, we generally try to write 3 pieces of evidence, and you should be able to come up with 3 pieces of evidence for this. Or if you combine things, you might only have 2 pieces of evidence, but they will be very high quality pieces of evidence to use. Remember, when you write your evidence, you want to look at both your claim and your data. So you want to think about what you wrote for a claim, restate that, so copy and paste that into your evidence so you know what you're writing towards, and look at your data. Again, we're talking about aluminum foil and cupric chloride. So you should be able to look at your data here and say, yeah, one of the experiments doesn't have anything to do with what I'm writing about, and I should be able to get rid of that one right away. So then you'll write your evidence here. Remember, if you do a good job of writing your evidence, doing your reasoning statement is much easier because it's basically copy and pasting your claim and your evidence into your reasoning statement tied together with your scientific principles. Again, you'll notice there's an evidence checklist here to make sure that you've done a good job on your evidence. This is your last chance to do a great job this year on your CERs. This will be your final grade for your CERs for the year. The reasoning statement, this is where you tie it all together. So you want to start by restating your claim from above. You're going to look at your scientific principles that you need to use, or principle, and then you're going to tie your evidence to that scientific principle or those scientific principles. And you want to make sure if you have more than one scientific principle that you use, you want to make sure that you put the right piece of evidence with that particular scientific principle. Again, the scientific principles are stated down here for you, which makes this much easier to write. And you're going to write your reasoning in the tan-colored box. There's a reasoning checklist here for you to help you write it, and notice it says, make sure you label your scientific principles correctly. So if it's actually scientific principle number 3 up here that you're using, then make sure you label it number 3. Don't call it number 1, because number 1 is different than number 3. When you get all done, in red down here it says, check your CER for proper capitalization, punctuation, and spelling. Reread your CER multiple times to make sure that it makes sense. Show your CER to your teacher before you submit it, in case there's a minor mistake. And remember, when you do your evidence, make sure you include labels on things. That's important that you have labels. And then email your teacher letting them know you have completed your CER to the best of your ability. You actually have until May 5th to complete this. Thank you and good luck.